Shalom Uvracha. How often do we have to check out Mezuzot? Great question. Well, people are very familiar with the fact that from time to time we have to check out Mezuzah. The halacha is, it's found in Yoredea, in chapter 291, that a Mezuzah of a person's private house needs to be checked twice in 7 years. The Aruch HaShulchan explains that means you need to check it every 3.5 years. So, what do we actually have to check for Mezuzah? The source from this is from the Gemara in the Second Yoma, page 11. And Rashi there explains that when we say check it, we mean that perhaps it's become decayed, or perhaps it was stolen. I can tell you a story that my grandfather, blessed memory, told me that when he first was a young married man living in a small apartment building, he found that he put a mezuzah up and people came along and ripped it off. He put a new one up. It was ripped off again. The third time he got fed up. He went to the cleaning man of the apartment to complain about these hoodlums and anti-Semites who were ripping his mezuzah up. As he walked in, the man smiled and said, "Mr. Kaplan, I've been waiting for you. Look at this." He opened his drawer and took out the mezuzot and said, "See what these rascals have been snailing up on your door. I don't know what they are, but they're making fun of you." My grandfather explained to him that they were mezuzot, and he took the mezuzot back and put them back up on the door. So we have to check that the mezuzot haven't been stolen. We have to check that they haven't been destroyed. From this, the Hatam Sofer has a very interesting response. He says that when you check the mezuzot, you don't have to be an expert sofer stam. When you buy a mezuzah, a person needs to make sure that it's kosher. And I can only stress that when you buy a mezuzah, you have to buy it from someone reputable, and it needs to be checked before you put it up. You need to buy it from someone who you know kept the halachot, someone who has much mind. It needs to be checked. After you have mezuzah, there is got a assumption of kashrut. You've got it checked. You bought it from someone who you know is reputable. After that, the letters are not going to get up and start dancing around. The word Shema Yisrael is not going to start changing. So what are you checking for? Well, according to Rashi, you're checking for two things. One, that it hasn't been stolen. Says the Hatam Sofer. So it's enough just to look inside the mezuzah case and check the parchment is still there. You don't need to be an expert for that. The second thing you need to check for, says Rashi, is that it hasn't mirakav, that it hasn't become destroyed or somehow lost its fineness. Says the Hatam Sofer, every Jew can do this. You wash and dry your hands. You open the mezuzah up gently, being careful not to touch the text itself. And you check that water hasn't got inside, that the letters haven't cracked, that insects haven't bitten into it and made holes. Any person can check that. You don't have to be an expert. After you see that the mezuzah still looks fresh and good, you wrap it back up. I advise you to put it in saran wrap again, fold it up, and put it back on the door. If you do see that some of the letters are washed out, you do see there are cracks in the letters, there are holes in it, then it's the time to take it to an expert and check it. So let's summarize. Every 3.5 years or so, you need to take all the mezuzot that you do down. If you don't know that you bought them from a reputable place, if you don't know that they started off being 100% kosher, now's a good time to take them to the local sofer stam and get them checked. But if you've already had them checked in the past, and you know that they were kosher when you put them up, now you just need to check that they're still there, and you need to open them up and check that they still look good. If they do, even you can then roll them back up and put them back on the door. Hashem, His name is mentioned in every mezuzah, should guard all their houses, and we should remember the good Lord as we go in and out past the mezuzah. Shalom Uvracha.